I'm a fucking thief, so what? It's an honest living. I don't lie about my occupation. No, I'm not a crackhead, and no, I'm not desperate for money. I do what I do because I do it very well. Unlike most of my ilk, I don't break into some shitty apartment to take a worthless shitbox TV, no. I hit where the big money lies. There's a fancy part of the city, Coral Road. That's where I can go shopping for a few $1,000 suits, treat myself to some one-of-a-kind jewelry, not forgetting the spoiled little brat's bedroom, my pick of games, consoles, and wide variety of games. Then there's the living room, 50-something inch TV, and a fancy new stereo. It's a good job. I drive a van. So I work surveillance for a couple of weeks. Normally I'm just checking for patterns, but there's been no activity the whole week. It must be my lucky day. I reverse my van onto the drive. Passers-by aren't exactly going to notice. Then straight over the fence to the backyard. I'm not too lucky, and considerate bastards didn't even leave a window open. So I smash it. A caving-in window doesn't make as much noise as you'd think. I got two possible situations. One's a lot more likely than the other. They're on vacation, or they're not feeling well. Well, they must feel like death not to leave the house in over a week. Now, before I start bagging stuff, I need to have a little look around. Make sure I'm alone. I start up the stairs. As I hit the top, a pan crashes to the floor. It's coming from the kitchen. I take a couple of deep breaths, creep down to investigate. The kitchen is immaculate, not a hair out of place. I return upstairs and take a gander into their rooms. I sure know how to pick 'em. That luck has come back. 2 laptops in the master bedroom. On the dressing table in plain view, a gold mine. A massive smirk creeps across my face. Again, either I'm really on edge, or no, it's not possible. My mood is suddenly turned as I hear the sound of something being dragged from downstairs. It's not constant, so it must be heavy, like someone's moving furniture. So I slid to the top of the stairs and peer down. A trail. A dark trail. I sneak down the stairs to get a better view. It's blood. A trail of blood so thick it's chilling. There's just so much blood, it's impossible to say which direction it leads. I choose and follow. The trail of lost life leads me to the living room. I follow it cautiously, doing all I can to avoid stepping in the lifeless void. There I am, tiptoeing into the living room. How ironic. I look up, and I wish I didn't. To my twisted luck, I chose the right path. There it was, lying on the table, legs and arms bound with razor wire. Nothing else. No body. Echoed from the kitchen, followed by a suffering scream that pierced my ears and left me panicked and scared. I wasted no time and hid in the closet like a child playing hide and seek. The closet doors are slightly ajar. If I closed them, it might have made some unnecessary noise. I only have a brief wait, but it felt like an eternity. The beast of a man enters the room, and standing in the doorway, he scans the room, presumably looking for me. He stands tall, this hairy creature. Wearing a blood-drenched apron and clutching his instrument of the trade in his left hand, a macabre cleaver big enough to dismember an elephant. I close my eyes and grip them tightly shut in some pathetic, childish belief that he won't be able to see me. That noise. That dragging noise. The demon man makes his way to the center of the living room. Running from his right hand is a short length of barbed wire, wrapped around the long, innocent legs of a young woman. He lifts the woman without any effort, just his one arm, and hooks her to the chandelier. That poor woman, as I admire the bruises, cuts, and gashes, I find myself thinking, she must have suffered greatly before he gave her the luxury of death. The butcher makes his exit. Presumably, he is heading back to the kitchen. Thoughts of escaping start rattling through my mind. The window I came in is in a different room. I would have to go back into the hallway and cross the puddle of blood. The window in this room is in many separate parts. I could attempt to break it, but I would be running the risk of angering and alerting the beast. As I think of my escape, I find myself drawn to the once happy blonde, swinging from the chandelier like a carcass ready for slaughter and distribution. I stare into her dead and lifeless eyes. They blink and stare back. Her face raises as she tries to assess her situation. Did she see me? No, she couldn't have. It's too dark. The master has returned after his short hiatus. The butcher is dragging another woman, fully clothed in elegant dress that fits her no less than perfectly. He places her on a chair and tucks her in, like the waiter at a fancy restaurant or a gentleman treating his beloved like a queen. The demon butcher continues to light a candle. I take another look at the poor girl swinging from the ceiling, her face filled with fear and anguish, tears rolling down her face. My weak stomach kicks in and vomit dribbles from my mouth, followed by a foul retch. That's when I heard, "Oh, monsieur, you must pardon my bad manners. I never realized we had company. Tell me, are you hungry?"